Alright, here it comes. Eastern Poland circa 2016. I was, and still am, an/out/ist. Lots of forests nearby, go on trips almost every weekend. Love the vibe, never get scared in the forest because I know the worst thing that I might encounter is a wild dog or a boar, both of which are not as scary as they sound. Still carry bang snaps and a lighter on me, just in case. It's winter, a pretty cold one at that, but I decided to go to the forest for a couple of hours anyway. Walking around, chilling. Fast forward 2 hours, I'm pretty deep into the forest and my legs hurt. Sit down and decide I want a cig, pull out my lighter and a pack of Camels. That's when I smelled it. It was very foul, awful smell of animal shit and rotting meat. Now I was big on skinwalker stories at the time, so I was insta-launched into fight or flight mode. Hide cigs in a pocket and look around, searching for the source of the smell. Suddenly hear the snow crunch a few meters behind me. Turn around and see the most grotesque sight of my life. As I recently finished Bloodborne, my first thought was Vicar Amelia. The thing was big, so big it was hard to believe something like that could exist just a few kilometers away from my home. Its wither height was almost that of a cow and it had this weird barrel chest I've never seen on a wolf. It must have been starved, its ribs were visible under its fur and its long legs were sickly thin. What shocked me the most though was its head. It was big, sure, but it didn't look like a wolf's head. Like Vicar Amelia, it had a long neck and a weird, elongated snout. It was almost horse-like. I completely forgot about everything I've read about wolves and how to behave around them and stared into its eyes. When I saw those slanted yellow circles, the huge white fangs and heard the aggressive howl bark, all my doubts were gone. It was a wolf, and a hungry one at that. Only now I started to realize in how deep shit I am. Wolves are afraid of humans. If it approached me, that must mean I either invaded its territory, or it was hungry. In this case, it was most likely both. I try to stand as tall as I can and slowly back out while facing the wolf. It isn't having any of it. The way it fucking walked was something straight out of a horror movie. Slow, unnatural movements that made it seem like a Silent Hill enemy, knees buckling with every move and its weight shifting in weird, twitchy ways. The sight almost made me shit my pants, but it gave me hope. The wolf must be too big for its own good. I mean, with its size it would have been the alpha of its pack, but it's alone, that must mean it's just an overgrown mutant. Or so I thought. I grabbed a handful of bang snaps from my pocket and swiftly threw it at its face. With the speed of Usain Bolt I dashed to the nearest tree and climbed as far as I could, but it wasn't enough. To give you an idea of how fast the thing was, I must have been 4 meters away from it when I threw the bang snaps and ran an additional 2 meters, then climbed up another 3 meters. It lurched forward and, much to my terror, started climbing the tree. I have no idea on how it managed to do it. I always thought wolves can't climb. My guess is it was because the tree had many branches it could grasp on. It was growling and bark howling, going like whoa-arg. I'm not ashamed to admit I literally pissed my pants. Not thinking too much, I threw my backpack at it as some sort of last resort. My face when it worked. It legit worked. The bag hit its snout and caused it to lose grip. Its entire weight, now suspended on a single paw, was too much for the branch to handle and it snapped. It stayed under the tree for a long time until it finally walked off, dragging its leg behind it. I was motionless for at least an hour after it left, and the road back to my bike was the scariest walk I've ever had. I tried telling people about what I saw, but no one believed me. The family said I was exaggerating things because it was my first time seeing a wolf. The animal services said that there indeed were wolves migrating, I don't know if that's the right word here, from Belarus, but chalked up the rest of my story as shock, so I stopped, fearing I might get admitted to a mental hospital if I insist on my version of the story. After this encounter, I didn't go out into the wild until early February when I got a camera and my grandfather's hunting rifle and went looking for the wolf, but sadly I never found a trace of this terrifying yet strangely beautiful creature.